Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting adventure in the wonderful world of Pokemon. Today we'll be playing Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. This is a remake of the original Hoenn Generation 3 games, Sapphire, Ruby, and Emerald, which I played many times when I was a kid, but I probably haven't played in at least a decade now, and I have never played the remake before, so I'm going into this blind, except for the fact that I have played, obviously, the ones they're based off of. So, whether you are joining me after watching some of my other Pokemon Let's Plays, I have an X Let's Play, Red, and Heart Gold, or whether you are here for the first time, either way, welcome. Glad to have you along for the journey, and without any further ado, let's play Alpha Sapphire. Since this is the first episode, we will start by watching the introductory cutscene. We are going to play in English, since that is the language I speak. Alright, cool little introductory cutscene there, and of course here's the title screen. Couple thoughts there. One is I wonder if, there's Primal Kyogre at the bottom screen there. I do know who they are just from watching some competitive Pokemon World Championships. I saw Latias flying around over Hoenn, and I think in the original games you either could catch Latias or Latios depending on which version you were playing. Alright, here we go. Hi, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Birch, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor. And this is what we call a Pokemon. I like how it's like a Game Boy screen there. Or a laptop screen, maybe. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. We humans live alongside Pokemon, at times playing together as friends, and at times helping one another out. And sometimes we just like to have fun battling others like us. But as close as we are, we don't know everything about Pokemon. In fact, there are still many mysteries surrounding Pokemon. I do research to try to unravel those Pokemon mysteries, but that's enough about me. What about you? Are you a boy or are you a girl? I am a boy, and I think their default names are Brendan and May. Will you give me your name, too? We are going to do a custom name, though. Those of you who watch my other Let's Plays know that I like to name my characters, at least in this series, after the region we are playing in. This is one of my favorite regions, the Hoenn region. It's got a lot of cool, like, natural features, and you can go underwater, and it's just a really fun region. So, based off the Hoenn region, I'm going to name my character Owen. I could spell it like O-E-N-N, like part of Hoenn, but I'll make it the more normal spelling of O-W-E-N. Where is the enter key? There it is. So you're Owen. Yes, I am. Ah, I see. You're that Owen. You're the one who's moving to Littleroot Town, where I live. Are you ready? I guess so. Your very own adventure is about to unfold. Be courageous and leap into the world of Pokemon where dreams, adventures, and friendships await. I expect we'll be meeting again soon. Come see me in my Pokemon lab. And I apologize if I slip up. I'm trying to say Pokemon because that's apparently the official pronunciations, but most of my life saying Pokemon, so I might go back and forth. All right, here we are. This is funny because it's like, on the one hand, I remember this like super well because I played it so many times. So I know kind of like the map. I mean, you can see the map there, but I don't remember all the names. But I know kind of the route you go on. I know what happens in each of these cities. I know who the gym leaders are. But on the other hand, it's all brand new because I played a very different, much earlier game. All right, here we are in Littleroot Town, I believe he said. Is that an airplane or is that a Pokemon flying? Probably an airplane 'cause I saw some vapor trails there. Owen, you're here at last. Wasn't it tough riding in the back of that bumpy moving truck all the way? Yeah, why couldn't I sit up front? Well, this is Littleroot Town. What do you think? This is going to be our new home. It has a quaint feel, but it looks like it should be a nice place to live, don't you think? And you get your own room this time, Owen. Oh, that's cool. Come on, you have to see the inside. And I like how you start as like you're moving into the town, so it's brand new to you, the player, who's presumably played in Kanto and Johto before, at least originally. And now you're playing this whole brand new region, which is, from what I understand, nowhere near Kanto and Johto. Like Johto was obviously very closely related to Kanto, whereas this is an island or a island continent, pretty much a brand new part of the world. See, Owen, isn't it nice in here too? The moving company's Pokemon even helped with unpacking and cleanup. Oh, that's nice of them. They really make moving a cinch. If only we could have Machoke's helping us in real life. Thanks for all the hard work. We really appreciate it. That's my impeccable Machoke impression there. So one thing that's interesting I've always found is that in the anime, the Pokemon say their names, but in the games, they just make like more animal noises. I guess that started with the games, and then when they did the anime, they were like, "Oh, this would be really weird if Pikachu is just making like animal noises." So somebody had the idea to make them say their names, and the rest, of course, is history. I guess some of them just like growl. Like Charizard would just growl. He doesn't go Charizard. That'd be actually really awkward, come to think of it. But anyway, you should go upstairs and see your new room upstairs, Owen. Dad even bought a new clock for it to help celebrate the big move. You'll need to set the time, though. That's right. Okay, so I was thinking that I was like, why couldn't I sit up front? Because usually the player character doesn't have a dad for whatever reason. I mean, they have a dad, but they don't know their dad. They just have a mom in their life. But I forget in this game you actually do know your dad, and we'll meet him a little later on. That's right. It's so some things I remember, some things are going to come back to me as we play. But and I'm sure plenty of things will be very very new. So I can look around the kitchen. Can't really click on anything from what I can tell. Um, Oh, an Azurill with a familiar smell. I wonder what that means. Got the TV. A movie is on. Two men are dancing on a big piano keyboard. Better get going. Is that like a Laurel and Hardy skit or something? Not sure what that's in reference to. I feel like that like rings a bell though. I feel like that was the same message on the TV back in the original games. All right, let's go upstairs to our room. Before we go too far, I wanted to say that I noticed some familiar faces in the intro as well, including Steven, who I believe, Steven Stone, who I believe is the champion in this game. In the original Sapphire, he was the champion, but in Emerald he was replaced by one of the gym leaders. So I was kind of hoping that this game would take after Sapphire, which makes sense, and Steven would be the champion. But we'll see if he is or not. It's a lot to read into just based on the introductory cutscene. All right, let's see what's playing on my TV. Mom might like this program. Better get going. Oh, didn't even say what it was. Alright, got a map. The Hoenn Region's town map, which you can already see at the bottom of the screen there. It's a little less blurry. Got a nice little writing desk. Full of adventure notes he jotted down. Adventure rule number 1, open the menu with the X button. Okay, cool. We'll save the game, but not yet. I usually tend to only save the game when I'm not recording. That way I can make sure the recording actually stops, because what I don't want to happen, obviously, is for me to save the game and then the recording software crashes and then there's no backtracking in this game. So always check for leftovers. You never know. All right, well, where's the computer? There's not really a computer. Sometimes you can like check a computer and get a like a free potion out of it. It's a Wii U. A little bit of advertising in there. They tend to do that in every game, I think. All right, well, that's enough exploring our house. Let's get out on the road. Owen, go set the clock in... Oh, that's right, she did say that. The clock in the room. Okay, yep, sorry, apparently I'm just so excited to begin that I've totally forgotten the directions. Honestly, I thought that was a window. It looks more like a porthole. You've got to set the time. Alright, cool. I'm glad it's not based off of the DS time, even though I think my DS time is correct. Maybe it is based off the DS time. Okay. Yep, guess so. How do you like your new room, Owen? Good, everything's put away neatly. They finished moving everything in downstairs, too. It really is so nice having Pokemon around to help us. Oh, but you should make sure that's everything all on your desk. Okay. I mean, I already looked, but I can look again anyway. I guess I just want to make sure you see the instructions. And I have a treasure chest. I'm not sure what's really in there, but okay. Well, actually, I really want one of these Snorlax things now. It looks really, really comfy. Also, where is her room? Oh, Owen, quick, come quickly. It's the Petalburg Gym. Maybe Dad'll be on TV. We brought you this report live from in front of Petalburg Gym. Next up, a special look at a long-awaited meteor shower in the next star show. Oh, it's already ended. Looks like your dad was on, but we missed his part. What a shame. But that reminds me, one of Dad's friends lives in this town. Professor Birch is his name. He lives right next door, in blue text for some reason. So you should go over and introduce yourself. Alright, we met him a little bit on the moving van, or somehow. I don't really see her room, so that's nice of her to give me the only bedroom, but where does she sleep? And where does Dad sleep? Does he sleep in the gym? I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think there would at least be like a door you couldn't get through that would be like their room. Owen's house. Yeah, again, you might get tired of me saying this, but it's weird seeing a familiar area, but in 3D. Who's this guy? To think that you can get data from the friends you pass even when your Nintendo DS is in sleep mode. The power of science is staggering. Yeah, and a little scary. A town that can't be shaded any hue. Oh, okay. I wonder if that's a reference to the to like all the towns in the older games are named after colors. Like Goldenrod and or no, I guess not Pallet Town, but Viridian City, Vermilion. It's funny how many colors I know the names of just because of Pokemon. I don't know what color they are, but I know Vermilion's a color. I think it's actually red. I always want to say yellow, but I think it's actually red. Okay. Let me just look around the town first. So Professor Birch's house. So I guess our rival doesn't live in this town. All right, let's see if he's in his lab. There's his assistant, I believe. Huh? You're looking for Professor Birch? The prop's away on fieldwork, ergo not here. Oh, I guess I have to tell you what fieldwork is. Fieldwork is when you study things in their natural environments, like out in the fields and mountains, instead of in a laboratory. The prof isn't one for doing desk work, really. He's the type who'd rather go outside and experience things than read about them here. He's probably doing a survey of Route 101 now. It's just outside of the town. Alright, you think living next to Route 101 he would have surveyed it pretty well by now, but, you know, I don't blame him for wanting to go outside. Could it be that several thousand years ago the Pokemon population of the Hoenn region was even more diverse? I don't know. One thing I really like about this region is they added a lot of new Pokemon, and they also kept some of the original ones as well. Not all of them. Well, at least not at first. You can get all the originals, but some of them I think you have to like trade for. You can't just catch them in the wild here. They're not native to the Hoenn region. And it's a serious looking machine with a detailed list of Pokemon that inhabit the Hoenn region. I'm sure we'll come back to that later. Alright, so as we go through this Let's Play, I'm going to try to find a nice balance between exploring and reading things and talking to people and also kind of keeping the pace up, so we'll see how that kind of plays out. Professor Birch will spend days on end in his lab researching something. Then he'll suddenly go out into the field to gather more data. When does he ever spend time at home? Well, apparently not now, but let's go here anyway. This must be his wife. Oh, hello, and you are? Oh, you're Owen, our new next-door neighbor. Welcome. We have a daughter about the same age as you. That's right, our rival in this game, as is often the case. Not always, not in Gold, for example, but in the original games and in this game, your rival is related to the professor. She has been so excited about making a new friend. She should be in her room upstairs. I hope you'll go and introduce yourself. Okay, so this is the rival's house. Cool. And I'm sure she is interested to make a friend, since apparently they are the only people living in this town until we moved in. Oh, I can sit down. That's cool. All right. No time to watch TV, let's go make a friend. And actually, she's only one of the two rivals in this game. Pokemon fully restored, items already, and... Huh? Who are you? Oh, you must be Hoenn. I like how my character is just totally silent, but everyone just figures it out anyway. Your move was today, huh? Well, I'm May. Glad to meet you. I actually have this dream of becoming friends with Pokemon all over the world. And then when Dad, I mean Professor Birch, told me about you moving here, Hoenn, well, I was hoping you would be nice and we could be friends, but that's just silly, isn't it? I've just met you, right, Hoenn? So what am I talking about? Oh no, I forgot! I was supposed to be going out to help Dad catch some wild Pokemon. Oh, and I'll see you later. Alright, well, this would be weird to explore her room without her here, so let's go to the fields and see if we can find the professor. I like how they have the map on the screen. One thing I didn't like about the X and Y games, well, I haven't played Y, but I assume it's the same as X, is that there really wasn't that much use for the bottom screen. At least maybe I just didn't find all the uses, but I like having the map there, and like in I'm not sure what game it was. Some of the games you can like display. Maybe it was even Red. You could display like no, probably Heart Gold. You could display your Pokemon's like health bars and things. So hopefully that's the case here. Actually, I have played a lot of other games on the DS, like X and Y, for example. I just haven't done Let's Plays of those quite yet. I think I hear some screaming up ahead. What should I do? What should we do? Somebody has to go help. Don't worry, kid. I'll take care of this. Help me! That sounded like Professor Birch. You'd think he'd have some Pokemon of his own to defend him, but I guess not. Hello! You over there! Please! Help me out! In my bag, there are some Pokeballs! Alright. Let's see what we have here. We have 3 choices, and I believe the one you choose here is not the one you have to choose. You can change it later on, but we're going to go ahead and start with the one that I'm going to use. A lot of cool Pokemon here. That I like Trico, but and I like that it'll eventually Mega Evolve into a part Dragon type. I love Dragon types, my favorite type. But I don't know, Sceptile, I really like it, but I feel like, I don't know, I don't like it right now as much as I used to like it for some reason. Torchic is super cool. I think a lot of people like Torchic and fire types in general, and it evolves into the really cool fighting and fire type Blaziken. And Mudkip is awesome. I love Swampert, its final form. In fact, whenever I play a generation for the first time, or a region for the first time, I should say, I always choose the water type. But I do have a kind of a team in mind for this Let's Play. And because I have a different water type that I really want to catch in this region, we are going to go with the fire type Torchic. Alright. Come on, Torchic, let's have our first battle together. We will save Professor Birch. I almost said Professor Oak there. Alright, so we have a wild Poochyena. So unlike the rival battle that starts some games where the opponent Pokemon is pretty strong at level 5, this should be pretty easy. Interesting menu here with some graphics. Alright, so we already know Ember. That's going to make this pretty easy, I would think. Ember's a pretty good attack. Alright, a little more than half damage, and a burn chance. Ember has, I think, a 10% chance to burn. Quite a few fire moves have that 10% burn chance. So I'm going to, as I do this Let's Play, I know most of you guys probably know a lot about Pokemon and know how the mechanics work, but in case you don't, or in case you're just forgetting, it's hard to remember all the complexities of it, I'll try to go over things as we encounter them. So burning is a status condition, and if a Pokemon is burned, it loses a little bit of health at the end of each turn, and it also has its attack staff cut in half as long as it's burned, so it'll do less damage with a physical attacking move. Woo! I went into the tall grass to survey wild Pokemon when I was suddenly jumped. You think being a professor he would realize, tall grass, wild Pokemon, be prepared? You saved my hide, thanks a lot. Oh, but you're Norman's boy, Hoenn. I didn't even realize who you were at first. You've grown to quite the young man. This isn't the place for a chat, though. Come along to my lab. Also, I apologize if the voices change. I'm bad at remembering what voice I use for which character, so bear with me there. A few minutes later, in Professor Birch's lab. So, Hoenn, I've heard so much about you from your father, but he said you don't have your own Pokemon yet. If that's true, that was quite the performance back there. Looks like you really are your father's son. Oh yes, to say thanks for rescuing me out there, how about I give you that Pokemon you used earlier? There we go, got a Torchic. I'm glad I chose it, because otherwise, I guess we didn't have the chance to revise our choice. While you're at it, why not give a nickname to that Torchic? Yes, we will. In fact, we're going to nickname all of our Pokemon that are part of our team. I usually don't nickname the ones that we just catch for, like, to teach HM moves or something, but the ones that are part of our real ongoing battling team, we'll give them a nickname. That's the spirit. What kind of name will you go with? All right, so, um, oh, and it's a male Torchic, which is good because I have a male name planned. The starters, I believe, have a 7 and 8 chance of being male. You can get a female one. I think in my Pokemon X Let's Play, I actually got a female starter, but this one is male, which goes well with his name, which is going to be, nope, not putting a space in there. You can rename Pokemon, but not for a while. We are going to name him Ford, and the reason for that, as you guys who've watched my other Let's Plays know, is I like to name my Pokemon in these Let's Plays after the various locations and towns in the game, just sort of as a naming convention. So we're going to name him Ford after Dewford Town, and it kind of just fits because I don't know, Blaziken kind of looks like a Ford to me somehow. But anyway, hopefully you agree because that's going to be the name of our little Torchic here. He'll grow into it. You know, if you work with your Pokemon and gain experience, I think you'll make a pretty excellent trainer. My girl, May, happens to be on Route 3 right now, surveying Pokemon for me. It might not be a bad idea for you to head out there way yourself. What do you think? I promise I'll stop pointing out plot holes, but if he came here, and then we both came here from the route, and I just saw May before I went to the route, how does he know where May went? Just curious. What do I think? Yes, I think it's a good idea. So I'm not a totally silent protagonist then. I can give yes or no responses. Great! I'm sure May will be happy to hear that too. She can help teach you what it means to be a trainer. Oh yes! If you're ever lost, use the Area Nav on your PokeNav Plus. You can use it to see how to get to Route 103, where May ought to be. And if you or your Pokemon get tired, get some rest back at your new house. So normally in most towns we'll rest at a Pokemon Center, but for this one we can just rest at our house. Alright, well, let's go for another just couple minutes. Maybe do a wild Pokemon battle or two, and then we'll call it a wrap for this episode. So you can see on the map there at the bottom. I can't point, unfortunately, but I guess I do have a cursor. And you guys, I don't know if you can see the cursor or not. I think you can. So there we are. We'll be going north. Clearly, I probably didn't actually need the cursor for that, but anyway. All right, there's the sign to Oldale Town. And we see some tall grass here, and somebody over there who may or may not be a trainer. A wild Wurmple appeared. Alright, so this is good. Actually, having a fire type at the start of the game will be very helpful, because a lot of the early Pokemon are bug type, and bug types are weak to fire type attacks. Also, part of the reason I was excited to get a fire type move is because of something called same type attack bonus. Hey, level 6. Yay, that was easy. Got some stats. Nice. So same type attack bonus, or stab for short, is if a Pokemon uses a move that is the same type as the Pokemon. For example, our Torchic, Ford, is a fire type, and Ember is a fire type move. The move will do 50% additional damage. So it's usually better for a Pokemon to use moves of their own type than it is for them to use moves that are not their type. Obviously, that's a generalization. There are plenty of exceptions to that. But just as a good starting rule, your best move will probably be one that's your own type. Alright, so he's telling me about my Pokemon Center, which will heal my Pokemon. We don't need healing quite yet. Oh, so if you jump over that ledge, as you can see, it is a one-way trip. Oh, also, it looks like we already have the running shoes. When I hold down the B button, I run faster, which is nice. Although I do think it increases your odds of encountering a wild Pokemon. And it's another Wurmple. Alright, well, we made very quick work of the first one. Once again, Ember did well for us last time. Gets that nice same type attack bonus, and it's super effective, so super effective is double damage. Stab is time and a half, so when you multiply them together, you get 3 times as much damage for a super effective stab move. What's over here? Did I see something? I did. Who are you? We'll find out later. And a Poochyena, okay. Yeah, I'm curious what you can find on this route. So Poochyena is a decent Pokemon. It's a really cool Pokemon, like design-wise, and it evolves into Mightyena, which is another dog Pokemon. Wow, not a one-shot. Okay. I guess not being super effective makes a difference. Let's just use Scratch to finish it off. Will be more than enough. Um, so yeah, I really like the design of Poochyena and Mightyena and their dark types, which is cool. But they don't really have a lot of moves they can learn, at least not a lot of like diverse moves. So I actually raised a Poochyena and Mightyena in my very first Sapphire Let's Play. Or not Let's Play, my very first Sapphire playthrough when I was, I guess, a teenager. But we won't be raising one in this Let's Play. Wild Pokemon will jump at you when you're walking in tall grass, so dive right in when you're trying to find that Pokemon you want to catch. Alright. Well, right now we don't have any Pokeballs, so we couldn't catch any Pokemon even if we wanted to. I have a feeling May might help us with that. And Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon is like the Rattata of this region. It's really cool. I actually like Zigzagoon a lot too. And what's really awesome about Zigzagoon is that very recently, in the most recent series of games, it has a third stage evolution now, which is really cool. Obstagoon, which is a normal and dark type, which seems to be like loosely modeled after like Kiss, like the band. So it's a really cool Pokemon. If I ever do a Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield Let's Play, which I definitely intend to one day, I think there's a very good chance I would train a Zigzagoon and evolve into an Obstagoon. Hello there, I work at the Pokemart. From what I can see, you're a novice trainer. Am I right? Okay. Being super kind-hearted as I am, I'm going to give you useful advice. We probably already know this advice, but we'll go through it anyway. First of all, that's a Pokemart there with the blue roof. We sell a variety of goods, including Pokeballs for catching Pokemon. I'd like you to have these as part of a promotion. Potions. Okay, those will heal my Pokemon. Potions can be used anytime, so they can be very useful to have. This is a Pokemon Center. Look for a red roof. Ask a woman inside, and she'll restore your Pokemon's health. That's it. That's the advice from me, the supremely kind-hearted clerk. Have a great journey. It's a shame there aren't more free samples in real life, unless you go to like Costco, but you're paying a membership there, so they're not really free samples. Alright, and here we are. Now, he did say a woman, but he really means Nurse Joy. Or she's not really called Nurse Joy in the game. She's just like the Pokemon Center attendant, but I'll always think of her as Nurse Joy. Clearly, you can't just talk to like any woman in the Pokemon Center like you. You won't heal my Pokemon. There are different genders of Pokemon. Yep, I'm aware. What do you have to say? There's a nice PC over here. That's very nice to have. And this guy looks like a bug catcher. Pokemon Centers are great, and it's free. Yep, that's pretty awesome. Glad they don't charge. That'd be a pain. Alright, so even though our Torchic is not too damaged, let's go ahead and heal up. Give Ford some rest. Alright, so one thing that's interesting, and I'll kind of end the episode on this thought, is that in the original Generation 3 games, I don't think they had the day and night cycle like they did in Gold and Silver. I could be wrong there, so feel free to correct me if I am. But at least if they did have it, I don't remember it being as big of a deal as it was in Gold and Silver. Like Gold and Silver, like everything revolved around like day of the week and time of day, and it was just a really, I mean, even like Espeon and Umbreon evolved in the different times of day, so it was really a big part of the game. It might be in this game in a more subtle way. Clearly, it seems to have some role to play in the remake, which I like. I definitely like the mechanic, and I hope they bring it back in all the other games. So we'll see how it plays out. A lot of times what's cool is that you'll find different Pokemon on the routes, or at least more commonly, depending on if it's day or nighttime. So for example, Poochyena is a dark type. You might find it more often at nighttime. And hopefully it's based off of the time of the DS, and not just like a cycle that goes every hour or something like that. I like it when games are based off of the real time of day. It makes it seem more immersive. But anyway, I think that's a good bit of content for our first episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. We have obviously a very long and I'm sure very fun adventure in store for us. So thank you a lot for watching. If you want to see when the next episode comes out, or maybe I've already posted it, maybe you're watching them all at once, which is awesome too. Be sure to like and subscribe. If you just stumbled upon this video, make sure to find the playlist on my channel. I'm sure I'll have it up if you click on my channel name. And it's just really easy to follow along that way, I found. And I always make a playlist. I keep them all in order, nice and organized, nice and easy to just watch on a sprint. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end the episode here. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you right back here for episode number 2.